Okay, all systems are go. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, or if you're watching the recording of this, I think you're in for a treat. We're going to go through the different holiday items that are currently available. So right now, about half of the holiday items are available for purchase, and some of which have already sold out. So you're going to want to pay attention to what is almost or 50% sold out and 80% sold out, so that you can have a good idea, a good gauge of how much time you have left to get your goodies. And it's going to just be Brittany and I. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Britt.
Hi, I'm Brittany Pio. I have been a wellness advocate with doTERRA for over a year now. I'm also a licensed massage therapist and massage therapy instructor. And I am just really grateful always to get on and share my knowledge with the oils and put it to practical use. And I think the holidays are a great time to introduce your friends and family to what you're already loving.
I think that's awesome. Thank you, Britt. And I'm Elizabeth Crawford, integrative nutrition and health coach and lover of oils and all things holistic. And we have some really great products this year. I really feel like doTERRA kind of nailed it. They blew it out of the water. Every year they impress me a little bit more with their holiday offerings, and they are going really quickly. And so Brittany and I are just gonna both share with you what we're excited about and maybe give you some gifting ideas of how to bundle these products together and some tips maybe of how to like keep your cool during the holidays. You could try that.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna screen share. Oh, that is not the one I wanted to share. Hold up, technical difficulty.
I know when you have multiple PowerPoints up, it's always like a gamble.
Seriously. I mean, it was just basically the same presentation, a little bit different, but not the one I wanted. All right, let's go. Un momento.
I can't believe how quickly they're selling out though. I had more hope, I guess, that they were going to last a little bit longer just for everybody to get them, but it just kind of goes to show how awesome they are and the reputation that they have and the great gifts that they make.
Yeah, and I had seen a post someplace that said, there's plenty of stock, no need to worry about sellouts. So I was like, oh, we've got it all under control. And then like day one, there was 50% sellout already. So yeah, you got to keep on it. All right, to get started, I want to just bring to your attention, if you're not familiar with it yet, the Healing Hands Foundation. This is our charitable organization that helps fund things like education and infrastructure for those communities that we partner with that are growing the product for our high quality essential oils. We do things like give people microloans to help them grow their businesses so that they can support not only their current family, but future generations and pull them out of poverty in these third world countries. We also partner with organizations that help to combat sex trafficking, and your purchases of these three products, 100% of the cost goes towards the Healing Hands Foundation. So I just wanted to bring these up first and foremost because the holiday season it's a time for giving, and we get all caught up in shopping and gifting, but there's the other side of the bottle. So we are a company that really strives to leave these partnerships or go into these partnerships and leave them in a way where they're better than where they started. And you can't really say that about every company, but it's something that is really one of our core values. And these three products specifically fund a lot of these awesome programs that we do. So Together Touch is something that is not always available. It just became available on Tuesday. And you'll notice through the presentation, there's these little 50% circles. After I did it, I was like, that looks like they're 50% off. That's not what it means. I'm sorry. They're at 50% sellout. So we've got only half of our stock left. So again, if you want to hop on that, that is a hot item. So Hope Touch is one of my favorites. It is a blend of citrus oils with a little hint of vanilla in it. And it was originally designed to be given as almost like a message in a bottle to people who were pulled into the sex trafficking industry. So underneath the label of the wrapper, it says "Peel for directions and caution." And then there's actually a message directly to somebody suffering in this industry that says, if you're a victim of trafficking or to report a tip, call this number. We care and there is help. Text help to this number. So really, it was a way for people who are being affected by this to actually get the powerful benefits of aromatherapy, but also if they looked a little bit deeper, there was a way out. So it just has this really cool story behind it, and I love this oil because of that. Britt, are there some products here that you are a big fan of?
Well, I know with the Hope Oil, you really did introduce that to me when we had the Ride for Missing Children fundraiser. And I was just excited to contribute to the cause. And I got that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one of my soulmate blends because it just smells so wonderful. And now I keep that actually right in my wallet, and it's just always with me. And both of us did a really good job at getting our teams to purchase the Hope Oil. And it's so funny how many people have told me since then that they want another one, so they have it in multiple locations and that they can give them as gifts. So I think the cause that it goes for, plus just my own experience with it, is just now one of my new favorite blends. Yeah. And I also love the rose hand lotion, especially now that we are in those drier months, and a lot of times our skin isn't as hydrated, so we need that extra boost. We've been washing our hands more than ever, sanitizing more than ever, and I think it's just a really wonderful time to be able to give that as a gift, to leave it out in your bathrooms or in your home when you're having company over. I think it's just the spa-like experience. It's really high quality, not greasy, and I know it's a staple in my bathrooms as well.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing that you can gift. It's a smaller item, so think like teachers or babysitters or the mailman. Maybe the mailman would like rose touch or rose.
I think so.
I think so too. Oh, and Together Oil, just so you guys know, it's a blend of 2 oils in fractionated coconut oil, and it's yuzu and magnolia. And it's just a very floral scent, and it's quite beautiful. They had it at convention a couple years ago, and it's just very uplifting, and it's a really nice, just kind of like a personal aroma. It's fully donated to Healing Hands Foundation too, which I absolutely love. All right, so available now. Without further ado, these are going to be the products that are currently available, with the exception of some that already sold out. There's one additional product that's available on the 16th, and then the rest of the products will be available December 1st. So it's kind of nice that they're being spread out like this, so they're not all selling out immediately.
Yeah. Plus, then you can kind of have some time to gift for yourself and others.
Right. Yeah, this first wave is for me, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. So these 2 oils, I feel like this is a polar debate. Like, are you team Holiday Joy or are you team Holiday Peace? Britt, which are you?
If I have to pick, the Holiday Joy.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, I love that it just reminds me of like a Christmassier version of On Guard. So obviously we all love On Guard, and it does have that like fall vibe about it. But this to me just puts me in the Christmas mode. I love that it's subtle, but it also has that really strong wild orange, cinnamon, cassia. If nobody's ever smelled cassia before, it just reminds me of the smell of like cinnamon sugar toast. I don't know, that's what I think of. I used to always butter my toast with butter and then sprinkle the cinnamon on top, and to me that's what I smell with that. I think it just makes a really nice gift for somebody too that only is looking to diffuse oils in the beginning, because I think that's how so many of us introduce oils into our life, is we just want our home to smell better, and that's great. So this is a wonderful way to introduce oils into somebody's life. But don't get me wrong, I love holiday peace too, but
Well, if you had to choose.
yeah.
Well, I love that you were able to share that, because I'm more of a holiday peace girl. That's my jam. But to your point with holiday joy and even holiday peace, both of these are a great option for having an aroma in your home, and instead of using candles, which can be quite nasty, even though they smell like something you know and love in nature, they really are not always what they seem to be. So these are awesome option. And Tom and I were candle-aholics for the longest time.
Mhm.
We would go like right around this time of year, we would get our Bath and Body Works coupons, we get the coupes, and we'd march to the mall, and we would probably buy like 10 to 15 3-wick candles. Like we
Mhm.
would go all out, and they would burn all winter long. And now I honestly can't do it. The fragrance is too much.
Mhm.
And now that I've kind of like cleansed and detoxed that out of my system, it's too much. And I can really tell the difference between the toxins in candles and the synthetic fragrances and the real true essential oil. So
Yeah, I can remember my grandmother, and I think this is true for a lot of people who are older. She never understood like why I wanted candles, and she'd always be like, "This really bothers me." And to me, it just makes so much sense that that generation didn't necessarily grow up with the synthetic fragrance, so they are more sensitive to it. And then when we started using oils and got away from candles, I had a really similar experience. And now when I go into other people's houses, even if I don't see the candle, I know it's there. So those are the people that you can also put on your list of like, maybe I should get them a diffuser and some oils to check out.
yeah, because they'll really love it. It's just that transition period where you have to kind of learn a little bit about the benefits.
Yeah, and one of my aunts was sharing with me that she recently just repainted her home. She doesn't smoke in her home or anything, but she does burn a lot of candles. And she noticed how quickly that the paint became tarnished,
Oh.
and she attributes it to the scented candles.
Yeah, yeah, because the wick, it puts soot out into the air, and
So what is that doing to our lungs and everything else if it's like that on the walls?
coating everything. So I'm team holiday peace, and I just really love the conifer oils. I like how my body feels when I'm experiencing that type of aromatherapy. For me, it is very, very grounding and balancing, and I always just kind of liken it to the properties of the tree. It has deep roots, it has a sturdy trunk, it can weather any storm, and it grows towards the light. And those are the things that I respond to. And I just love how they smell. My favorite is actually vetiver, which there's a little bit of that in here. But this blend is like, it replaces, like, so like if you have a synthetic tree, this is a great way to get that Christmas tree scent in your home. We actually switch here. Tom's tradition growing up was a synthetic tree, and we always went and cut our own down. So we switch back and forth every year. This year it's a real tree. So, but I'll still use my holiday piece in the diffuser because I want it to smell through the whole house. But yeah, this reminds me of the holiday season. And fir oils are awesome for calming your elevated energy when you're a little bit angry. So this helps if you're having like a difficult time with family, or maybe there's conversation at the dinner table that makes your blood pressure rise. This is a really good one to be diffusing when you have a lot of people in the house and anxiety can be high.
Yeah, and I think it's a good opportunity to experiment too and see maybe if the vibe changes with your family when
Mm.
you're diffusing. I know I do those experiments often. And I think now I'm really inspired. I don't know why I've never done this before, but I kind of want to mix the two together. in my diffuser.
I was just thinking that. I put Holiday Peace in the diffuser. I was debating on which one to use. And I was like, maybe I'll just mash them together. I think that's a great idea. Let's see what's next. Oh, the Hikari. All right, so the Hikari diffuser is sold with Holiday Peace oil. You can purchase the Holiday Peace separate, but you can't purchase the Hikari separate, if that makes sense. It's a smaller diffuser. I think it's probably around the same size as that one back there, which is the Rugby. It's relatively small. It does have a USB plug, so it can be cordless, is my understanding. And they're talking about it having a very warm ambient light. It doesn't cycle through the colors like a lot of our diffusers do, but it has like a really nice nightlight effect. And it can go either bright, dim, or completely dark, which is nice because some diffusers have, even when the light's out, there's bright lights coming out of the buttons. And this has a completely lights out option, which is nice if that keeps you up at night. But it's really cute. It's light and adorable. It has a Japanese influence. I think it's going to be a nice addition.
Yeah, and I think the price is really great considering you get the oil and the diffuser, and that is the full size oil, right?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah. So I think that's a great price. I think that makes a really nice gift. Plus, so many of us are working from home now that I can picture that fitting nicely on your desk and you can plug it in to the USB.
I thought this would pair nicely with a massage gift certificate. What do you think, Britt?
I think that's a great idea. Or you can give this to your favorite massage therapist.
Or, yeah, that's a good one. I love it. Okay, so the ancient oils, this is a lot of information. So I'm not going to go through each one of these oils and give you like the biblical history of them. One, because I don't have it all memorized. But
this would be a good time to screenshot too for people who want to know more.
Yeah, definitely give a good screenshot. But I will say that there's a really great audio clip on the doTERRA website where Emily Wright is talking about the stories of all of these awesome ancient oils. I would encourage you to check that out. It was very enlightening and really neat. And I had a couple takeaways that I'll share with you real quickly. And then I do have on the next slide the health benefits of each one of the oils. So that's really super relevant. But so frankincense, the thing that's really interesting about frankincense is it's the oldest trade route that is known. And it's so hardened into the ground there in Oman that it's still viewable from a helicopter. You can actually still see this trade route, and it's 2,000 miles long, and it really started in 500 BC. So this is some seriously ancient stuff. And I think it's just really interesting to know that what we're using today is not unchanged from what was used thousands of years ago. And it's just really, really inspiring to be a part of that. The other cool thing that I learned about our frankincense, which I think I knew, but it's been a while since I heard it, our frankincense is unique and different from other frankincense essential oils because it's actually a blend of 4 different types of frankincense that come from 3 countries. So Somaliland, Oman, and Ethiopia. So we do that to have the benefits are much more significant because the chemical makeup is just so much more complex. So we have a different product than if you were to, let's say, go to the grocery store and get your oils, or even go to another company who is in this industry. We have something really, really special here. So keep that in mind, you guys. And if you haven't heard about all the amazing benefits of frankincense, which I'll touch on, and frankincense, and Brittany will talk about too, but it's never ending, the benefits of this oil. It wears so many hats and it has incredible properties. So talk to your favorite essential oil educator about it, and do a little research. You'll find some cool things. Myrrh was used in religious ceremonies, and it also comes from that same trade route in Oman that frankincense uses. And it's really great for a lot of things, but something I just recently learned is it's great for soothing the throat. So like if you use a cough drop because you have that tickle in the back of your throat, just adding a little bit of myrrh to some tea is another way you can manage that. But it's great for your skin, it's great for your hair. But I just thought that was really a neat way to use it. Also, using it on reflex points, which Britt, you can probably attest to this too, for problems around women's hormones. One of the reflexology points you can use is on the inside and outside of your ankles, and it helps to mitigate symptoms a little bit. Galbanum is, what I found really interesting is that it's a very bitter aroma, they're saying, but it's found in some really high-end perfumes like Chanel No. 19 and Musk by Cartier. So
Okay.
Isn't that cool? Like,
Yeah.
all right, snaps for that. But they say that it's like a really bitter, intense aroma. So I'm curious to actually experience that for myself. And then there's hyssop, which I know is mentioned in the Bible a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Wright was talking about how it is mentioned 10 times in the Old Testament and 2 times in the New Testament. And I've had a lot of people ask me if we're going to get hyssop in our line. And we have it now, only in this Ancient Oils limited time offer. And the thing is, these were really difficult to source. So we're not going to see these again. This is a rare opportunity to get all the ancient oils in one swoop.
Yeah.
Something to know about hyssop, though, is it is safe for use for most people, and there are other types of hyssop out there. So we're using a chemical constituent or a plant species that is known to be safe, whereas some others are not. Although it's important to know that if you are pregnant or expecting to become pregnant or suffer from epilepsy, then you want to avoid this essential oil. But it's 100% awesome for everybody else. So just keep that in mind if that is something that's on your radar. Common myrtle is, and the symbolism of common myrtle is of prosperity, hope, love, justice, and recovery. And I just wanted to share that because I think we all need that in our lives right now. And it would grow super high and tall and big along waterways. So it was a symbol of God's promise and blessings, and it's used in a lot of Jewish writings. And then, okay, so the last one, cistus. This was something that was growing around the farmland where they had sheep and they were herding sheep, and the sheep would come in and the farmers would be brushing their fur, and they would pull out all these flowers from the cistus plant out of their fur. And then the farmers finally realized at some point that there were medicinal benefits to it. So it's so neat to hear these old stories of what it was all about, how these things came to be. I grew up Catholic, so some of these stories are familiar to me, all very interesting to me because you don't hear it all when you're a kid in Catholic school. They don't tell you everything. I'm going to go to the next slide though, Britt. If there's
and what was just coming up with me too with this was like these are calling to me, and this is definitely going to be a gift that I do for myself. But what is really calling to me is using these super intentionally. And what I mean by that is they are on the more pricey end, but then also the sourcing and the tradition and history that comes with these. These are not going to be oils that I am like loosey goosey with. I want to be really intentional with. And I think new year, new beginnings, people like to start new things that are going to help benefit their health. And so many of us are looking towards meditation and mindfulness. And I just think this would be a great way to either start that practice or to enhance your meditation practice.
Yeah, that's spot on. I mean, frankincense, myrrh, galbanum, all great oils for connecting with your higher power. And you can see here all the powerful benefits. Like you're right, you're not going to use them. You're not going to take a drop of galbanum under your tongue every day like you would your full size bottle of frankincense. But they are super special, and many of these oils were used in rituals in a way where they were using them to cleanse sacred spaces or to cleanse the body before going into a sacred ceremony. And if you can adopt that sort of mentality with these, I think it's just a really neat way to expand your oil use for sure. I love it. But yeah, this is
Absolutely.
exciting. I can't wait to experience these.
Yeah.
All right. Any one of them like really stick out to you that you're excited about?
Well, the common myrtle, no, sorry, the cistus. So for some reason, when you were explaining that, I was thinking that to me would be such a good gift to give to like a bride in your life. Like if you knew somebody was going to be married within the year, or I don't know, putting it aside or making them something, to me that just really
Yeah.
spoke to this sense of like new beginnings, but then also very feminine sounding. So I think that they would make, all of them would make wonderful gifts, but I think you could also get super intentional and put together blends for family and friends.
Yeah, I just love this whole idea. And they are really difficult to source. Like the galbanum is, I think it comes from Iran, and where we don't have trade ability with them. So it's difficult to get. And I guess what happened was Emily Wright was chatting with our source for frankincense and was saying like, oh geez, I really wish we could get this. Do you know anybody? And the guy like lit up. He knew somebody, he had a friend in Turkey who was growing this, and he didn't even know what he was going to do with it. He was kind of like doing this experiment. And push come to shove, what they wound up doing is they imported the plant matter from Turkey into Oman, where our frankincense is distilled. And our frankincense distiller distilled the galbanum for us. And that's how this was born.
I love that.
Yeah, there's just, it's such a human and real company. Like those are stories from the front lines of how you like source and distill oils. And I just,
Yeah.
it's so cool that we have transparency for that kind of stuff. Oh, last thing. If you do this kit, which is 185 and it's 150 PV in your LRP before the 15th, you get Litsea for free. Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Litsea, I'm calling it the poor man's Melissa oil because it has a lot of the same properties of Melissa, but you can get it for free this month with this package of oils or any 125 PV order in your LRP this month. And actually next week, we're going to be talking about Litsea and black spruce and or oils that can be used for respiratory health. So I meant to mention that in the beginning. We'll be talking about that next week. So tune in. But yeah, if you want to get this for free, make sure you place one of these orders before the 15th. It smells to me like lemon Pez. I don't know why. It just like brings my brain back to pulling all the lemon Pez out of my Pez dispenser. And I love it. It's really, really awesome. It pairs well with On Guard. I was using it last night. This is that audio clip. I apologize. I really don't know how to find it other than to go to the website and to search episode 107 Ancient Oils, and it'll come up for you. But listen to it on your way to work, or I don't know, when your kids are doing gymnastics. It's really interesting and fun to learn about. All right. What do you got about this one, Britt?
So adaptive needs to be in everybody's home.
Mhm.
And what a better way to utilize the amazing, calming, I always consider this like the mental health blend in the bathtub. So
Mhm.
you're
A lot of
basically
information.
doing this double whammy of self-care. You're using that beautiful blend, but you're also taking time for a bath.
Yeah.
And like I know for me, I never really want to take a bath, but then once I do, I always love it. It's a great experience. This is a way you know you're getting high quality products in your tub with you, because so often we're gifted these things at Christmas time that come from random stores, and now you're putting these toxic products very close and kind of even inside of you. So I think this is just a good way to make sure you know you're getting high quality products in your self-care bath. I would also use this as like a foot soak too. To me, I think that's another thing that's calling for me. Like I'm not always going to take that time for a bath, so I can just draw up a little tub of hot water and soak my feet, maybe even add in a little Epsom salt too. But I think that would be just a great way to wind down, or maybe even if you had some extra time on a Saturday morning and like treat yourself with a bath. And I think also for parents, this is a great thing that you can add into the bathtub for your kids' routine too.
I love that. When you use this, it's only a cap or two at a time, and it turns your bath into like this milky, super moisturizing experience. And to your point earlier about the rose lotion, we're walking into a very cold and dry season, and your body will for sure appreciate this kind of self-care. And I added in here that you can bundle this with any of the other adaptive products, obviously. But just when you started talking about, the experience of stepping into a warm bath, I love the idea of doing a little dry brushing before jumping in and stimulating your lymph. And then just allowing your body to absorb all this goodness.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about dry brushing, but if anybody doesn't know what that is, you are going to use just a traditional bath brush, but they do also make specific dry brushes, and you're going to just give yourself this full body dry brushing, and you work with the lymphatic system. Basically, you're just bringing everything towards your heart with the strokes. And I always recommend checking out a YouTube video if you are unsure of how to do it. And it's just a great way to stimulate lymph. It can even reduce the appearance of cellulite, because so often our cellulite is just extra taut fascia, and it gets interwoven with the adipose or fat tissue. So if we can break that up, it can actually even reduce the appearance of that, along with getting our lymph to move through the body quicker, will help us heal faster, less time with inflammation. And I think it also gives me extra energy too when I'm doing that. Like I always feel less brain fog and more aware once I've done some dry brushing.
I would agree with you on that. It definitely stimulates more than just the lymph system. It like wakes up all your nervous system too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, what do we have next? 50% to sold out, FYI. And the Desert Bloom is sold out. If you guys didn't get your hands on this, reach out to your favorite essential oil educator. Maybe they have extra, just saying. They're really cute though. A passive diffuser is something that doesn't plug in. They're usually made out of clay or ceramic or like lava stone, and you really just place a couple drops of oil on it, and the natural ability of the oil to evaporate, because they're volatile properties, just lets it diffuse around you throughout the day. So you can do this with other things. If you have like a bowl of pretty rocks, sometimes I'll just drop oils on them.
Mm-hmm.
I drop oils on my crystals. I'm trying to think. You could even like very easily make a reed diffuser with chopsticks. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of play with the idea of a passive diffuser.
Yeah, and when my oils are all gone and I have an empty bottle, I will just leave that bottle open, and I'll put it in my bathroom, like in a spare toilet paper roll, and just like put the open bottle in there. And it lasts for quite a while too, like a week, that I'm fully noticing that every time I go in the room.
Interesting. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Neat. Let's see, what else is there? Tingle your taste buds with lemon lime drops. They offered these as a sample at convention a couple years ago, or maybe they do it every year. I can't remember. But this is just basically candy. It's made out of brown rice syrup and the CPTG lime and lemon oils. And I thought this would be a cute thing to pair with other essential oil drops that we have. So we have ginger, On Guard, which are really nice at numbing your throat when you have that tickle in your throat, and then the Breathe drops, which open up your respiratory system and soothe your sinuses. Or you can gift it just how it is in that cute little tin. But some ideas, if you're not familiar with this product line, we have a lot of really cool options to try out, and they're all really yummy.
Yeah, that would make just a nice gift to have. If I always like to keep spare gifts around for those stragglers who show up, or you run into certain people, and you could just bundle them so cute and nice in a little baggie and put a note on them.
I love it. Or like a little mason jar and layer the colors.
Oh, yes. Like you could just do the On Guard and the lemon lime, and they'd be a cute little Christmas color combo.
That's really cute. And then use the tin for yourself.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. Ah, I got 2 of these and I'm so excited. Ugh.
Yeah, same. This was in my cart as well. I am so excited that doTERRA is getting into mushrooms. That's one of my loves. And mushrooms are great because they are adaptogenic. If you are somebody like me and coffee or caffeine makes you anxious, I highly recommend pairing it with an adaptogenic mushroom. And what it does when you pair the caffeine with it, just like there's caffeine in hot chocolate, it's going to bring your body to homeostasis and be able to handle that caffeine. And it's going to be much more intentional versus when we just drink a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate and we have that burst of energy and then it crashes later on. Maybe shortly thereafter, maybe that crashes a couple hours down the road for you. And so I love being able to combine the mushrooms with that little bit of caffeine because it becomes very intentional. Your body handles it much easier, and it's going to be all those benefits that we hear, those feel-good endorphins that we get from caffeine or chocolate more specifically. And also, who doesn't love to just like warm up with a cup of cocoa, but you don't have to have this worry of, is this going to keep me up all night? Or you feel bad about it because, let's be honest, when you get those little packets of hot chocolate and they have more ingredients than what fits on the little label, that is definitely not something you want to be doing all the time. So this is something I think you should get for yourself and a gift for somebody too, because you need it for yourself. It's going to just be that feel-good, healthy blend of a sweet treat and all of the adaptogenic properties of mushrooms. Chaga, reishi, lion's mane, they are in my pantry anyways, so I'm just really excited to have them. And knowing that they come from doTERRA, you know they're sourced well and that they're the real deal.
I love it. Thank you for giving me permission to keep one for myself.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I love that you paired it with the Serenity because that just sounds like the ultimate nighttime self-care blend.
I know, and the more I think about this, like you can go pick out a really cute mug from Target and package this together really cute. I just think it's a really great experience to have. I'm
Yeah, and I know we're both medical medium fans, so I'll share this with you too. He makes coconut whipped cream that's super easy to make out of just a can of organic coconut milk. And then you like freeze a bowl for a little while, put it in there, and just whip it up, and it comes out so good and it's so easy. And you could do a little dollop on top.
That's awesome, and it's dairy free and vegan. Love
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay, so one more item. This is available on the 16th, so you have to wait for it, but I think it's gonna be worth the wait. This is pretty. I'm probably gonna get this for myself too. Ugh. So the story behind this is the design was made by a female artist in India, and it's really neat how they do this. The design was, it's made with a graphic program on the computer, and then that design has like kind of modern meets tradition or ancient practices, and they literally carve that design into these wooden stamps, and the pattern on the cotton scarf is those stamped patterns made out of wood. So it's really cool. I think they're going to show us more information about that as it gets closer to the 16th. But it's just really neat that we were able to do this and preserve tradition and also employ like all these workers that are, I guess this practice is endangered. There's not really a market for it anymore. So I love that we were able to do that. And it seems to me like this is like an optical illusion a little bit. And I gotta tell you what I'm seeing. The bottle looks small and the beads look big, but I don't know what's going on here. It's like just in my perception, but the
Yes.
bottle is 10 milliliters, so it's a full size roller bottle. And then I think those lava stones are actually quite large. Actually, Emily Wright, when she put it on the other day, it's almost like a statement piece necklace. The beads are quite large. And the idea is that you just diffuse your oils on the beads. You can put whatever you want on it. But the Cali blend sounds awesome. Wild orange, amorous, ylang ylang, vetiver, again, my favorite, jasmine and rose. So awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be so pretty. Such a nice gift too.
Yeah, I love these colors. Very festive. All right, you guys. Anything else you wanted to share, Britt?
I think we gave them a lot of good information. All I know is that I feel like I need to go and put more stuff in my cart. That's like just how I'm feeling right now. I need to jump off and make sure I snag everything that I don't think I got enough of.
Yeah, well, just because things are selling out so quickly too, you don't want to have the opposite of buyer's remorse afterwards.
Absolutely.
How about this? What is your favorite? I'm putting you on the spot. I'm gonna have to think of something too. What is your favorite thing to do to like, your favorite self-care during the holiday season to keep you grounded and not like a crazy person like some people can turn into?
Mm-hmm. So I love getting outside, and even though I'm not a huge fan of the cold weather, but if I'm home during the day, like that peak sunshine moment that we might get around like noon, or a little earlier, and just walking through the yard with the dog and like that crisp snow under your feet, getting outside, it almost just when we get those few brief moments of sunshine here in upstate New York in the winter, it's just you have to indulge in those and appreciate them for what they are. And then another thing is just always making sure to give myself some time alone by myself. And I try to do that every day, no matter what, anyways, but especially during the holidays to just give yourself that space. And for me, that's meditation. And I always love to put a drop of oils on the bottom of my feet and the crown of my head and give myself 5 or 10 minutes to just sit.
Love it. Love it. So for me, the things that keep me like level-headed and maintain that excitement without burning out is I love to decorate my house and inside and outside. It just makes me so happy to have the Christmas lights along the front of the house. Sometimes I'll just turn off everything in the house, and
Mhm.
I love feeling the light come in from the Christmas lights into my living room. And or like also I'll probably have the Christmas tree on, but just like the holiday lights, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, I think we should all do that soon too, like this weekend.
Like right away.
Yeah.
I still have a ceramic ghost in the living room.
Well, that's okay.
And then so I also really love cooking, so that gives me this sense of purpose in some way where I'm nourishing myself, and anybody else who wants to indulge me, I'm also nourishing them and, showing my love in that way. And of course, I love using my oils in my cooking. And then I love smells. So like we used to be addicted to the candles, and I like to be able to bring that nature aspect that you're talking about into the home. So, I mean, it's incorporated into my decorating, and then also bringing the sense of the outdoors in too.
Yeah, and I think we're so fortunate to be able to have the oils, especially for us with our climate where we don't get a whole lot of nature time, and to bring that into the home in the winter time, it can elevate your mood, but it also just is so refreshing to have that sense of nature inside.
Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be really nice these next couple of days, though, like in the 60s.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's hold off on the Christmas lights until.
Okay. I can still hang them up all year though.
I love it. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing all of your brilliance and your thoughts. And we will tune in this time next week and chat about respiratory oils. And you'll learn a little bit about Litsea and black spruce and lots of other goodies. Cool.
Great. I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me on.
I love it. Take care, Britt. And
Thanks,
I
you
didn't
too.
think
Bye.
there were any questions, but if there are, we'll answer
No
them.
questions.
Okay.
Nope. Not
No
that I think.
questions. Awesome. Take care.
All right, great. Have a good night.